Broads Media.
I'm more upset because it seems methodical. Whether they tell you sore shoulder or they tell you about the problem with his abdominal situation on the side of Joel Embiid, I've seen this organization handle injuries, and it's not just the Sixers. It's an NBA issue. It's a, hey, you have a back-to-back coming up. You see Miami at home, and then you go to the Brooklyn Nets up in New York on Wednesday, Thursday. We value that more than we value the Memphis Grizzlies, which it is what it is. Fine. I can't tell you that you're wrong for feeling that way, but my point is, you better show the fuck up. That's all. That's all. I'm not saying I demand a blowout. I'm not saying you have to absolutely annihilate these teams because they have special players on their squad too, and it's not going to be very easy, and the Sixers are a flawed basketball team. That's not perfect, so I can't demand excellence, but what I better see is you show the hell up. You give me maximum effort. You leave everything out there on the floor where I can at least acknowledge, okay, I can live with you losing that game because it could have went either way. You balled out. Whatever the case may be, I need to see it play out, and I need to see context before I can obviously give my assessment on how I feel for those games. But it seemed very thought out where, hey, you see the Miami Heat, you see the Brooklyn Nets, we'll just rest we'll rest Joel. It's a hectic week. There's a game on Sunday as well. So if you think about it, they play today. They have a back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. Then they play again Sunday. It seemed very load management-ish. And maybe they were trying to catch Memphis off guard with Joel. Hey, we'll just show it as a late scratch. See if it throws them off the hook. Forget us. Forget the Sixers. Forget about them trying to establish any sort of offensive. Well, to be fair, they were fine offensively, especially in the first half, I should say. But defensively, they couldn't stop anything. They were getting crushed. Andre Drummond's getting dunked on by Jaren Jackson Jr. to start the game off. And when you see a two-handed slam like that with that level of intensity early, I basically knew. That was almost telling me everything I needed to know to see him get whacked so early. Cork Moss, he couldn't make one three-pointer in the middle of the action. I mean, it was gross. It was gross watching this team. The only positive out of the day was Tyrese Maxey, and he was shooting as much as he possibly could, running around trying to make plays. He finished 9 of 17 from the floor, 23.7 assists. So it was fun to see him kind of just buzz around. But at the end of the day, it's not satisfying me enough because they just had such an emotional win on Saturday. It would have been so nice for them to follow that up with something other than an absolute stinker in an unwatchable basketball game. That third quarter felt like 7 years long. It was so putrid. It was awful. And then by the end, I'm watching slop and garbage out there. And look, you want to look at Charles Bassey and the fact that he got a double-double and got some buckets, whatever the case may be, fine. I think at the end of the day, there's something in there. But with where the Sixers are, that's like the 15th thing I'm worried about is who Charles Bassey is, with all due respect. He clearly needs to work on the foul side of things, and that'll happen. And look, when you're a reserve, you can be more aggressive because you don't need to be utilized for 48 minutes a night, so you can foul hard and foul with some level of oomph behind it, because it doesn't matter if you pick any up, but you also can't be fouling out in 20-something minutes of play. And at one point, he had 3 personal fouls in 3 minutes of run. So at the end of the day, you look at the 2 positives. It's Tyrese Maxey and it's Charles Bassey, but I'm not thrilled, and I'm not in that mood tonight where I'm just satisfied with watching these 2 guys play.